Chosen one, the dream I placed in your heart is dying because you were waiting for the perfect time to start. Give me a few minutes, and I will hand you a faith-based action planner to conquer procrastination instantly. Listen and finally break the cycle. My child, I see you. I see the dream you keep carrying quietly. I see the vision that still burns inside you, even after all the delays, all the excuses, all the nights you told yourself, I will start tomorrow. I see the idea written in your notebook. I see the plan saved in your phone. I see the project you keep opening, then closing again. I see the prayer you keep repeating, not because you have no faith, but because you are afraid to move. And I want you to know this. I am not speaking to condemn you. I am speaking to call you forward. You are not lazy. You are not hopeless. You are not forgotten. You were afraid. Afraid to fail. Afraid to be seen trying. Afraid to give your best and still feel like it is not enough. Afraid that people will look at your beginning and judge it as if it should already be complete. So you wait for more confidence. You wait for more money. You wait for more time. You wait for a better mood, a clearer sign, a stronger feeling, a perfect moment. But my child, the perfect moment has become a hiding place. You call it preparation, but sometimes it is fear wearing clean clothes. You call it wisdom, but sometimes it is delay dressed like patience. You call it waiting on me, but deep down, you know I have already whispered, begin. Perfectionism has been speaking louder than faith. It tells you, do not start until you can do it perfectly. It tells you, do not move until every detail is safe. It tells you, do not try until failure is impossible. But I never asked you to be perfect before you obeyed. I asked you to trust me. Faith does not begin when fear disappears. Faith begins when you move while fear is still standing there. Faith begins when your hands tremble, but you open the door anyway. Faith begins when your voice shakes, but you speak what I placed inside you. Faith begins when the plan is not complete, but obedience is clear. My chosen one, you have been staring at the entire staircase, and that is why you feel overwhelmed. You are trying to carry tomorrow's strength today. You are trying to solve problems that will only be answered after you take the first step. You are asking me for the full map when I am giving you the next instruction. And the next instruction may feel small. Send the message, write the first page, make the appointment, record the first video, apply for the position, start the conversation, open the document, take one step, not 10, one. Because one step with me is more powerful than 1,000 intentions that never leave your mind. You had told yourself, when I am ready, I will begin. But readiness is not always a feeling. Sometimes readiness is a decision. Sometimes courage comes after movement. Sometimes clarity meets you on the road. Sometimes provision appears only after you have obeyed. Look at what you have been carrying. The pressure to impress everyone. The pressure to never make a mistake. The pressure to begin at the level of someone who has been building for years. That pressure is not for me. I do not shame small beginnings. I bless surrendered beginnings. I do not despise the seed. I know what the seed can become, but a seed kept in the hand cannot become a harvest. It must be planted. And planting means release. Release the need to look perfect. Release the fear of being misunderstood. Release the shame of starting small. Release the lie that says, if I cannot do it perfectly, I should not do it at all. That lie has already cost you too much. It has cost you peace. It has cost you momentum. It has cost you confidence. It has cost you months of circling the same mountain, asking for another sign, when my voice has already been gentle, clear, and steady. Begin. My child, I know why you hesitate. You have failed before. You have been criticized before. You have started something before, and it did not turn out the way you hoped. You have watched people misunderstand your heart. You have watched others move faster, grow faster, finish faster. And somewhere inside, you began to believe that your beginning was not worthy, unless it looked impressive. But I am healing that belief today. Your beginning does not need to be impressive. It needs to be obedient. Your first step does not need to be flawless. It needs to be faithful. Your offering does not need to be polished before I can touch it. Bring me what you have. Bring me the unfinished draft. Bring me the small idea. Bring me the trembling yes. Bring me the little strength you still have left. I can breathe on what is surrendered. I can multiply what is placed in my hands. I can guide what is moving. But you must stop hiding behind the word later. Later has become a prison. Later has become a comfort zone. Later has become the place where your dream grows tired. And I am not calling you into panic. I am not calling you into pressure. I am not asking you to build everything in one day. I am simply asking you to stop bowing to perfectionism. Perfectionism says you are not enough, but I say my grace is enough. Perfectionism says you will fail, but I say I will teach you. Perfectionism says they will judge you, but I say keep your eyes on me. Perfectionism says you are behind, but I say you are not outside my reach. So breathe, let your shoulders drop, let the weight of impossible standards fall. You do not have to become someone else before you obey me. You do not have to sound like them, build like them, pray like them, create like them. You are not called to copy their path. You are called to walk yours with me. And today, I am reaching into the place where fear has frozen your obedience. I am touching the place where shame has made you silent. I am awakening the courage that has been buried under overthinking. You will not be free by thinking about starting. You will be free by starting with me. So open your hands. Release the excuse. Release the delay. Release the perfect image you have been trying to protect. I did not call an image. I called you. The real you. The growing you. The learning you. The healing you. The you who still feels afraid but still says, God, I will trust you. My chosen one, the paralysis of perfectionism has held you long enough. Now take the first step. Not because you feel ready, but because I'm with you. And where I am with you, you can begin. Now pause for a moment. Not with shame, not with fear, not with condemnation. Just pause and let this question reach the honest place in your heart. How many months have you lost simply because you were waiting to feel ready? How many weeks passed while you kept saying, I am almost there? How many opportunities came close, but you stepped back because your confidence was not perfect? How many doors did you pray for, then hesitate to enter because you were afraid of what might happen after the door opened? My child, I am not asking this to wound you. I am asking this to wake you, because delay is expensive. It does not always look dangerous at first. It looks harmless. It looks like one more day, one more week, one more plan, one more adjustment, one more reason to wait. But slowly, delay begins to collect pieces of your courage. It takes your momentum. It weakens your confidence. It makes the dream feel farther away, even though I never moved. You did not lose those months because you had no calling. You lost them because fear convinced you that readiness had to come before obedience. But look closely. The people you admire did not begin fully ready. They began willing. They began scared. They began with questions. They began with imperfect tools, limited resources, and trembling hands, and I met them there. So today, do not count the months you lost as proof that it is over. Count them as proof that you cannot keep living this way. The question is not, why did I wait so long? The question is, what step can I take with God now? Because now is still holy. Now still matters. Now is still an altar. And one obedient step today can break the cycle that delay has been building for months. My chosen one, you do not need to feel ready. You need to stop agreeing with fear and move. My child, delay does not always announce itself as rebellion. Sometimes it looks calm, sometimes it sounds responsible, sometimes it hides behind planning, researching, thinking, waiting, and saying, I just need a little more time. But I want you to see clearly today, not every delay is wisdom, not every pause is preparation, not every closed notebook means peace. Sometimes delay is a spirit of fear, quietly convincing you to bury what I placed inside you. It does not always attack you loudly. It does not always tell you, give up. That would be too obvious. Instead, it says, wait until you know more. It says, wait until you feel stronger. It says, wait until people understand you. It says, wait until the risk disappears. And while you are waiting, your courage slowly weakens. Your fire slowly fades. Your vision slowly becomes something you talk about, but no longer touch. My chosen one, the enemy is not always trying to make you run from your calling. Sometimes he only needs you to postpone it. One postponed step, then another, until months pass and your heart begins to believe that maybe the dream was never real, but it was real. It is real. That ache inside you, that holy restlessness, that quiet pull towards something more is not random. It is not imagination. It is not pride. It is my invitation. But delay has been trying to suffocate the invitation before it becomes obedience. And this is how it works. First, delay makes the assignment look too big. You stop seeing one step, and you start seeing every possible problem. You see the criticism, you see the cost, you see the people who are ahead of you, you see the mistakes you might make, you see the ways it could go wrong. And suddenly, what I asked you to do feels impossible. But my child, I did not ask you to carry the whole future today. I asked you to obey the next instruction. Then delay makes you question your identity. It says, who do you think you are? It says, you are not gifted enough. It says, you are not spiritual enough. It says, you are not spiritual enough. It reminds you of your past. It reminds you of every unfinished thing. It reminds you of every time you started, then stopped. And if you listen long enough, you begin to agree with a voice I never sent. Hear me clearly. Your past patterns do not have authority over my present calling. What you failed to finish before does not cancel what I am asking you to begin now. I am not limited by your history. I am not confused by your weakness. I knew who I was calling when I placed the dream in your heart. Then delay disguises itself as humility. It tells you, do not step forward because you are not worthy. It tells you, do not share your gift because someone else is better. It tells you, do not try because you might look proud. But true humility is not hiding what I gave you. True humility is using it for my glory. True humility says, Lord, this gift came from you, so I will not bury it in fear. You do not honor me by shrinking from obedience. You honor me by surrendering what you have, even when it feels small. Then delay attacks your focus. It fills your day with distractions. Not always sinful distractions. Sometimes ordinary distractions. A message, a task, a small errand, a sudden urge to clean, scroll, organize, compare, or start something else. And by the end of the day, you are exhausted. But the one thing I asked you to do is still untouched. You tell yourself, I was busy, but busy is not the same as obedient. Activity is not the same as alignment. Movement in circles is not the same as movement forward. My child, I'm not asking you to do everything. I am asking you to stop avoiding the one thing you already know matters. You know what it is. Even now, as this message reaches you, something comes to mind. A step, a call, a page, a plan, a beginning, a decision. You have prayed about it long enough to recognize it. You have delayed it long enough to feel the weight of it. And today, I am unmasking the spirit of delay so you can stop calling it your personality. This is not just how you are. This is not just your weakness. This is not just your habit. This is a pattern that can be broken, and it breaks when truth enters. Truth says, I do not need perfect conditions to obey God. Truth says, I can take one step with trembling hands. Truth says, my fear is real, but it is not my master. Truth says, God can bless the beginning, even when the beginning is small. The spirit of delay wants you to believe that tomorrow will be easier, but tomorrow becomes easier only when today becomes obedient. Do not keep placing your freedom in a future version of yourself. Do not keep saying, one day I will be disciplined. One day I will be brave. One day I will be brave. One day I will begin. No, today you can choose one act of obedience. Today you can open what you closed. Today you can touch the dream again. Today you can stop treating fear like it has the final word. My chosen one, delay has spoken long enough. It has questioned you. It has drained you. It has made you feel behind, ashamed, and stuck. But I am speaking louder now. You are not powerless. You are not trapped. You are not too late. You are being awakened. The assignment is still alive. The grace is still available. The door is still before you. But you must stop standing at the doorway asking for courage while refusing to move your feet. Courage will meet you in motion. Peace will meet you in obedience. Strength will meet you on the path. So name the delay. Expose the excuse. Bring the fear into my light and take back the step that procrastination has been stealing from you. This is not the end of your calling. This is the moment you stop postponing it. Now listen carefully, because this may change the way you see yourself. You think you were just being lazy, but procrastination is actually fear wearing a mask. It is fear with a calendar, fear with a to-do list, fear with an excuse that sounds reasonable, fear saying, I will do it later, when what it really means is, I am scared to be seen now. My child, you have been judging yourself for the fruit, but I am asking you to look at the root. The root is not always laziness. Sometimes the root is disappointment. Sometimes the root is rejection. Sometimes the root is the memory of trying before and feeling embarrassed when it did not work. Sometimes the root is the fear that if you give your whole heart and it still fails, you will not know how to recover. So you protect yourself by delaying. You protect the dream by never releasing it. You protect your heart by never risking it. But hidden dreams do not heal you. Fairy gifts do not free you. Delayed obedience does not make fear smaller. It makes fear stronger. Every time you avoid the step, fear learns that it can lead you. Every time you say, "Not today," when I have already said, "Go," the mask becomes harder to recognize. But today, the mask is coming off. You are not lazy beyond repair. You are not weak beyond help. You are not broken beyond movement. You are afraid, and fear can be faced with me. So stop calling yourself names I never gave you. Stop saying I am just a procrastinator. Stop making delay your identity. You are my child. You are called. You are capable of one faithful step. And when fear says, "Wait," you will answer, "God is with me, so I can begin." My child, bring me the incomplete draft. Bring me the unfinished plan. Bring me the idea that still feels rough around the edges. Bring me the beginning that does not look impressive yet. You keep waiting to present me with something perfect, but I am asking you to present me with something surrendered. There is a difference. Perfection says, "I cannot move until I know it will be admired." Surrender says, "Lord, I will move because you asked me to." Perfection says, "I need this to look strong." Surrender says, "Your strength is made perfect in my weakness." Perfection says, "I must control the outcome." Surrender says, "I will obey and trust you with what happens next." My chosen one, you have been treating your first step as if it must carry the weight of the entire future. That is why it feels so heavy. You think the first page has to prove the whole book. You think the first message has to fix the whole relationship. You think the first offer has to build the whole business. You think the first prayer has to remove every fear. But the first step is not the whole journey. It is only the place where trust begins. Do not despise the draft stage. The draft is where humility grows. The draft is where learning begins. The draft is where I teach your hands what your heart has been dreaming about. The draft is not failure. The draft is formation. You are not behind because your beginning is messy. You are becoming. You are not disqualified because your first attempt needs correction. You are learning. You are not rejected because your obedience feels small. You are moving, and movement matters. I can shape what you place in my hands. I can refine what you are willing to release. I can breathe on the seed you actually plant. But what remains hidden in fear cannot become the harvest you keep praying for. My child, think of the miracle of the loaves and fish. The offering looked too small. It did not look like enough for the crowd. It did not look impressive. It did not look complete. But when it was placed in my hands, little became more than enough. That is what I do. I did not ask you to bring what you do not have. I ask you to bring what is in your hands, your small beginning, your honest effort, your imperfect yes, your 30 minutes of focus, your first paragraph, your first phone call, your first application, your first day of consistency. Bring it to me. Do not wait until it feels worthy. Obedience makes it holy. You are afraid that if you start imperfectly, people will see your weakness. But I already see it, and I still called you. I saw the insecurity. I saw the hesitation. I saw the overthinking. I saw the places where you would need grace, and I still placed the dream inside you. So why are you trying to hide from people what I have already covered with mercy? You do not need to pretend confidence to walk in obedience. You can say, Lord, I am afraid, but I am coming. You can say, Lord, I do not know every step, but I will take this one. You can say, Lord, this is not perfect, but it is yours. That kind of prayer moves heaven, not because it is loud, not because it is polished, but because it is true. My child, I want you to stop waiting for the feeling and start honoring the instruction. Feelings change. Motivation rises and falls. Confidence can be strong in the morning and weak by evening. But obedience can be chosen. Faithfulness can be practiced. A step can be taken even when emotion is not cooperating. You have been asking me to make you fearless, but I am teaching you to be faithful. Fearless means you feel nothing. Faithful means you trust me, even while you feel fear. And that is deeper. That is stronger. That is maturity. Do not pray only for fear to disappear. Pray for courage to obey while fear is present. Because when you move with me, fear loses authority. It may still speak, but it no longer leads. It may still whisper, but it no longer controls your feet. The incomplete draft is not evidence that you should stop. It is evidence that you have started, and starting is where the cycle breaks. Every completed assignment was once unfinished. Every strong voice once trembled. Every seasoned builder once made mistakes. Every testimony passed through a moment where the ending was not yet visible. So do not demand a finished harvest from a seed you have not planted. Plant the seed. Send the draft. Make the call. Begin the work. Let the first version be a first version. Let the small beginning be small. Let the process teach you. Let me correct you without condemning you. Let me guide you without you needing to know everything first. My chosen one, you are allowed to improve after you begin. You are allowed to learn after you launch. You're allowed to adjust after you move. You're allowed to grow in public if that is where obedience leads you. Do not let embarrassment become your master. Do not let comparison become your coach. Do not let the fear of being judged silence what I placed in your spirit. People may not understand your beginning. That is okay. They are not the one who called you. People may underestimate your small step. That is okay. They do not see what I am forming beneath the surface. People may notice the rough edges. That is okay. I am the one refining you. Your assignment is not to appear finished. Your assignment is to remain faithful. And there is a blessing that only meets the person who moves. There is wisdom that only opens after obedience. There is strength that only rises after your feet touch the path. There is provision that only appears when you stop standing still. The water did not part while my people admired the promise. They had to walk. The oil did not multiply while the vessels stayed empty. They had to pour. The walls did not fall while my people stayed silent in comfort. They had to march. Again and again, faith became visible through action, not perfect action, obedient action. And now I'm asking you, what action have you been delaying because it does not look perfect yet? What step have you kept postponing because the first version feels too small? What dream have you hidden because you are afraid someone will see the draft before they see the destiny? My child, bring me that exact place, not the polished version, not the impressive version, not the version you wish you had. Bring me the real one, the unfinished one, the messy one, the honest one. That is where I will meet you. I will not shame your beginning. I will strengthen it. I will not reject your small step. I will guide it. I will not mock your trembling obedience. I will honor it. So today, stop waiting to feel complete before you begin. Stop waiting for perfect confidence before you move. Stop waiting until the work looks beautiful before you place it in my hands. Give me the incomplete draft. Give me the first step. Give me the yes that still shakes, and watch how I turn surrendered movement into sacred momentum. You do not have to finish the whole assignment today. You only have to begin it with me. And as you begin, I will be with you in the writing. I will be with you in the building. I will be with you in the learning. I will be with you in the correction. I will be with you in the quiet moments when nobody claps, nobody notices, and nobody understands. I will be there, and my presence is enough to make the imperfect beginning worth offering. Now take this in slowly. We drop the fear, we embrace the mess, and we let God bless the action. That is the shift, not perfect faith. Moving faith, not perfect confidence. Surrendered confidence, not perfect timing. Obedient timing. My child, you have spent enough time asking, what if I fail? Now ask, what if God meets me as I move? You have spent enough time asking, what if I am not ready? Now ask, what if readiness grows while I obey? You have spent enough time asking, what if people judge me? Now ask, what if freedom is on the other side of being seen? Because the goal is not to look fearless. The goal is to stop letting fear choose your future. The goal is not to create something flawless. The goal is to offer me something faithful. The goal is not to know every detail. The goal is to trust me with the next step. So remember this, fear loses power when you stop feeding it with delay. The mess loses shame when you bring it into my hands. Action becomes holy when it is born from obedience. One step, one page, one call, one decision, one honest beginning. That is how cycles break. That is how momentum returns. That is how the dream breathes again. My chosen one, do not wait until your hands stop shaking. Bring me the shaking hands. Do not wait until your voice feels strong. Speak with the voice you have today. Do not wait until the plan looks perfect. Start with the instruction I have already given you. We drop the fear. We embrace the mess, and we let God bless the action. This is where delay loses its grip. This is where obedience rises. This is where you begin again. Now, my child, I am not only giving you encouragement, I am giving you a way forward. Because sometimes your heart is willing, but your thoughts are scattered. Sometimes your spirit says yes, but your schedule says chaos. Sometimes you want to obey, but the dream feels too large to touch. So today, I want you to take this faith-based action planner and use it to break the cycle of delay. Not someday, not when life becomes perfect, not when every fear disappears. Today. This planner has 3 steps. Name the assignment, shrink the step, surrender the outcome. Say that again in your heart. Name the assignment, shrink the step, surrender the outcome. This is how you stop being trapped between desire and action. This is how you stop waiting for the perfect time. This is how you begin with me. Step 1, name the assignment. Do not keep speaking in vague words. Do not keep saying, I need to get my life together. Do not keep saying, I need to work on my calling. Do not keep saying, I need to start eventually. That is too unclear. And unclear assignments create unclear action. I want you to become honest, specific, and simple. Ask yourself, what is the one thing God has been placing on my heart that I keep delaying? Not 10 things. One thing, the one thing that keeps returning to your mind, the one thing you feel peace about but still avoid, the one thing that makes you nervous, because you know it would require movement. Name it. Maybe it is writing the first chapter. Maybe it is creating the first offer. Maybe it is applying for the position. Maybe it is cleaning the space so your mind can breathe again. Maybe it is starting the ministry. Maybe it is making the appointment. Maybe it is calling someone and having the conversation you keep postponing. Maybe it is finally building the habit you have been praying for me to bless. Name it clearly. Write it down like this. God is asking me to begin blank. Do not make it dramatic. Do not make it complicated. Just tell the truth. God is asking me to begin this project. God is asking me to submit this application. God is asking me to record this message. God is asking me to forgive and move forward. God is asking me to become consistent again. When you name the assignment, you pull it out of the fog. And what comes out of the fog can finally be faced. Delay loves confusion. It loves vague dreams. It loves emotional pressure with no clear next step. But obedience becomes easier when the instruction becomes clear. So step 1 is simple. Name the assignment, bring it into the light. Do not hide it behind 10 excuses. Do not bury it under a long list. Do not say, I do not know, when you do know the place where my voice has been touching you. You may not know the whole future, but you know the next assignment. Now step 2, shrink the step. This is where many of my children get stuck. They name the assignment, then immediately make it too heavy. They say, I need to write the whole book. No, write 1 page. They say, I need to build the whole business. No, create 1 simple offer. They say, I need to change my whole life. No, choose 1 faithful habit for today. They say, I need to become completely disciplined. No, give me 20 focused minutes. My child, you have been trying to obey in a way that overwhelms your nervous system and then blaming yourself when you shut down. I am not asking you to carry the entire mountain. I am asking you to move 1 stone. Do not turn 1 step into a lifetime contract in your mind. Do not turn 1 action into a performance of your worth. Shrink the step until it becomes possible. Small enough to begin, clear enough to do, specific enough to measure, faithful enough to matter. Ask yourself, what is 1 action I can complete today in 15 to 30 minutes? Not an action you can imagine, an action you can actually do. Open the document, write the first 10 lines, send the email, make the call. Lay out the supplies, record the first short draft, walk for 10 minutes, read 1 page, pray for 5 minutes, read 1 page. Then move. Do not despise the smallness. Small steps are not weak. Small steps are seeds, and seeds do not look like forests when they enter the ground. But when they are planted, they begin to carry life. You have been waiting for a giant leap, but I am teaching you the power of a faithful rhythm. 1 small step today, another tomorrow, another after that. This is how fear loses authority. This is how confidence returns. This is how your dream begins breathing again. The step must be so clear that you cannot hide behind confusion. Do not say, I will work on it. Say, at 7 p.m., I will write for 20 minutes. Do not say, I will start soon. Say, after breakfast, I will make the call. Do not say, I will get organized. Say, I will clear my desk for 15 minutes, then open the file. Clarity protects obedience. Specificity breaks delay. A small step with a time attached is stronger than a big intention floating in your mind. Now step 3, surrender the outcome. This is the part your heart needs most. Because you are not only afraid to start, you are afraid of what starting might reveal. You are afraid it will not work. You are afraid it will not work. You are afraid nobody will respond. You are afraid you will discover that you are not as capable as you hoped. You are afraid obedience will expose weakness. But my child, outcomes belong in my hands. Obedience belongs in yours. You cannot control every response. You cannot control every door. You cannot control every person's opinion. You cannot control how quickly the harvest appears. But you can control your yes. You can control whether you show up. You can control whether you plant the seed. You can control whether you move in faith instead of hiding in fear. So before you take the step, pray this simple prayer. God, I give you this action. I give you my fear. I give you the outcome. I will do my part with faith, and I trust you with what I cannot control. Say it slowly, mean it honestly, then move. Do not pray the prayer, then return to the same delay. Do not surrender the outcome, then keep refreshing the result. Do not obey for 5 minutes, then panic, because the harvest is not visible. Let obedience be enough for today. Let faithfulness be your victory. Let movement be the sign. That fear is no longer leading you. This is the planner. Name the assignment. Shrink the step. Surrender the outcome. And now, I want you to make it personal. Before this day ends, write down one assignment. Choose one small action. Attach one time to it. Then pray and do it. No drama, no pressure, no perfect mood. Just obedience. If this message is speaking to your heart, write Amen as a simple act of faith, not to unlock a blessing, not to prove anything to anyone, but to say, God, I hear you and I am ready to move. And if someone you love has been silently stuck in fear, share this message with them, not to pressure them, to remind them that they can begin again too. My chosen one, this planner is not about becoming busy. It is about becoming obedient. It is not about rushing ahead of me. It is about walking with me. It is not about doing more to earn my love. You already have my love. It is about taking back the movement that fear has stolen. So take out a piece of paper or open a note in your phone and write these 3 lines. God is asking me to begin. My next small step is, I surrender the outcome by trusting God with, fill them in. Make it plain, make it honest, make it small enough to start today. Because a plan that never becomes action is just another hiding place. But a simple plan, surrendered to me and followed with obedience, can become the doorway to the next season of your life. Do not wait for a sign louder than my instruction. Do not wait for courage bigger than my presence. Do not wait for conditions cleaner than today. I am with you now. Grace is available now. The first step is possible now. Name the assignment. Shrink the step. Surrender the outcome. Then begin. And as you begin, you will discover something powerful. The fear that looks so large from a distance becomes smaller when you walk toward it with me. The dream that felt impossible becomes touchable when you break it into one obedient step. The delay that felt like a prison begins to lose its lock when you stop waiting and start moving. My child, this is how you conquer procrastination with faith, not by shaming yourself, not by forcing yourself into panic, not by pretending you are not afraid, but by taking one clear, small, surrendered step with me. Today your movement becomes worship. Your action becomes agreement. Your beginning becomes a declaration. Fear is not my master. Delay is not my identity. God is with me, so I can move forward now.